resilience, and somehow, it turned into, you guessed it, the Meghan Show. Former Home Office Minister Norman Baker hit the nail right on the head when he called out exactly what we were all thinking. There she was, squealing in delight, making sure all eyes were on her instead of the incredible athletes who deserve the spotlight. I mean, come on. This is an event that Harry created from his heart, inspired by his military service. It should be about the competitors, not about his wife's latest photo op. What really gets me is that she didn't even stay for the whole event. That's right, she headed back home 5 days before the closing ceremony. Now, I know some might say, but she has children at home. Well, let me remind you that Catherine, even while recovering from surgery, manages her royal duties and motherhood with grace, and without making everything about herself. The comparison to Yoko Ono? Wow, that's a spicy take from Mr. Baker, but can we really say he's wrong? Just like Yoko was accused of breaking up the Beatles, we've all seen how Harry's relationships with his family have changed since Meghan came into the picture. The once close brothers, William and Harry, now couldn't be further apart. And who's at the center of it all? Just saying. Let's talk about Harry for a moment because this breaks my heart. Remember when Invictus was his pride and joy? When he was front and center, passionate about helping his fellow servicemen and women. Now, he's been relegated to what feels like a supporting role in his own project. The man who once lit up rooms with his charm and enthusiasm now seems to be standing in his wife's shadow. The contrast between how Harry presents himself at Invictus now versus before Meghan is striking. He used to be so natural, so genuine in his interactions with the athletes. Now, it feels like everything has to be choreographed, everything has to be perfect for the cameras. And guess who's directing this show? And can we talk about the timing? While the real working royals are dealing with genuine health concerns, King Charles with his cancer treatment and Catherine recovering from surgery, here's Meghan turning a veteran sporting event into her own PR opportunity. The lack of awareness is staggering. What's really telling is how different this is from how the working royals handle their engagements. Look at Queen Camilla, stepping up magnificently while Charles undergoes treatment. Look at William, balancing support for his wife and father while maintaining his royal duties. That's what real service looks like, not this Hollywood-style performance we saw in Vancouver. Norman Baker's observations about Meghan being in her element in Hollywood really struck a chord with me. Of course, she is. That's always been her endgame, hasn't it? Using every opportunity, every appearance, every event as a chance to build her brand. Even something as meaningful as the Invictus Games isn't exempt from becoming part of the Meghan Show. The way she muscled in, as Baker put it, is exactly what we've seen time and time again. Remember the walkabout after Queen Elizabeth passed away? Remember the Jubilee? It's always the same pattern, taking events that should be about something bigger than herself and somehow making them all about her. Here's what really gets me, the disservice this does to the Invictus Games itself. These games represent something so powerful, so meaningful. They're about recovery, resilience, the unbreakable spirit of our service personnel. But instead of headlines focusing on the incredible achievements of the athletes, we're talking about Meghan's latest performance. Let's be honest, this isn't the first time we've seen this behavior, and it probably won't be the last. Since the moment she stepped into royal life, it's been a constant stream of attention-seeking moves. Remember the Oprah interview? The Netflix series? The constant drip feed of poor me stories to the media? It's exhausting. The thing that really stands out to me is how different this is from the way Catherine handles public appearances. When Catherine attends an event, it's always about the cause, about the people she's there to support. She never tries to overshadow the purpose of the event. That's what real royal service looks like. You can see the difference in how the public responds, too. The athletes at Invictus, they're the real stars here. They're the ones who deserve the media attention, the headlines, the spotlight. But somehow, once again, we're talking about Meghan's behavior instead of their achievements. And poor Harry. Watching him at these games compared to previous years is like watching two different people. He used to be so passionate, so involved, so hands-on with the athletes. Now, it feels like he's just part of the supporting cast in the Meghan Show. It's actually heartbreaking to see. Remember when Harry first launched Invictus? The pure joy on his face, the genuine connections he made with the competitors. That Harry seems so far away now. The spark that made him such a beloved figure in the royal family seems dim somehow.